Big day in the United States Senate. Republicans will be holding a vote to open debate on a bill to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. They are desperate to hold on to every single Republican vote. This is even leading Arizona Senator John McCain to return to the United States Senate after he was diagnosed with brain cancer. Republican leaders are working to get the support of 50 of the Republican conference's 52 senators. One has already said they're not going to vote for this. 9 are still on the fence. No one knows exactly what is going to happen. But one of the things that we do know is that most of the Republicans haven't even read this bill, a bill that we've had no public hearings on, a bill that has not been marked up, a bill that has had no committee hearings as well, no input from Democrats. But then, of course, you have President Donald Trump, who whines and complains and says Democrats are to blame for this. Last night, he gave a pathetic, trifling, shameful, deceitful speech to the Boy Scouts of America, where you should be talking about leadership and honor, but a president with no honor gave a very embarrassing speech where he actually called on them to call United States senators. Really, dude? Really? The Boy Scouts of America. Just play the video of what he said. All right, so we don't have the video of what he said, but here's the deal. It really was a joke of a speech. Republicans, though, are desperate to keep their party in place to hold these votes. But the question is, will Senator Mitch McConnell be defeated by his own party on this particular issue? Let's bring in Congressman Hakeem Jeffries of New York right now. I want to go to him. He's a member of, out of Brooklyn, New York. Congressman Jeffries, look, this is a shameful bill. We all know that. You have Senator Mitch McConnell, who refused, the majority leader, who refused to meet with the March of Dimes, American Cancer Society, American Lung Association, the Diabetes Association, the Alzheimer's Association. All of these caregivers, the Senate Majority Leader refused to meet with any of them on this bill.
It's shameful, Roland, and the Republicans have one objective, and that's what explains the erratic behavior that the American people have witnessed over the last 6.5 months. Destroy all things related to Barack Obama. They have an unhealthy obsession with the 44th President of the United States of America. Repeal and replace was never a solution. It was always a political slogan designed to attack a popular president who they were shocked was elected and then reelected. And so that's the only rational thing that can explain why they continue to go after, despite lacking the votes for this approach or that approach, and the American people being squarely behind strengthening the Affordable Care Act, mending it, but certainly not ending it, out of recognition that the ACA has done a tremendous amount of good. But they've spent 7 years riling up the Republican base, promising repeal and replace, and so they're trapped in a situation where they may do something to undermine the well-being of the American people, although that certainly remains to be seen.
I want to go to our panel right now. Joining us, Tiffany Cross, Managing Editor and Curator of The Beat, a digital tip sheet for communities of color, a digital political tip sheet. Brandon Cooper, Chairman of the Prince George's County Republican Party. Avis Jones-DeWeaver, Leadership Strategist and author of How Exceptional Black Women Lead. Brandon, I'll start with you. You have Senator Richard Burr from North Carolina who says, man, I haven't read the bill, so but I'll vote on anything. You have, again, senators who have no idea what's in it. You have Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who is desperate for a win. How shameful is this that they are trolling for votes for a bill? There's been no public hearings, no committee hearings, no amendments offered, no town halls, nothing. You're going to reorder 1/6 of the economy on a bill that you have had no public discussion whatsoever. This was totally done in secret.
And you're right, it's a shame. As a Republican, they really fumbled the ball. They had 7 years. They've been talking about it, as the congressman mentioned, to rally up the base. But now they have the opportunity actually to change it, and they can't get anything passed.
No. I don't mean passed, Brandon.
Yes.
What I'm saying is, it's shameful. There hasn't even been any public discussion about this specific bill, not 7 years.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the actual bill. It was done in total secret.
And I'm agreeing with that. I'm saying they should have had a lot of time to do public comment on that. But let me be clear on this. Today's vote is a procedural vote. As you mentioned earlier in your commentary, there is no bill yet. This is being passed through reconciliation process.
Stop 1 second. What do you mean there's no bill?
There is no final bill. Today's vote is not a vote on the bill. Today's vote is the start of discussion on the bill.
Precisely.
The bill will be passed next week.
Why would somebody vote to start a discussion?
No, again,
on
I'm just correcting the point
that
that made clarifying.
nobody has actually ever even seen.
I was just clarifying for the audience because you missed in your previous statements said that there is no bill today they're voting on. Today they're voting on to start the discussion on the bill. There's going to be a process over the next 2 weeks.
This is a part of
I agree.
part of the whole deal.
And I think we agree.
So
it's
this vote today
bill.
is a vote on the bill.
It's a vote to begin discussion on the bill. It's not on passing the bill.
Okay.
And again, I agree with you on the point. No, I'm just pointing out. I'm sorry. I'm trying to explain the process and making sure it's clear. But
no, we're clear on the process.
All right, let's make sure we're clear. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. It took 14 months for Obamacare to pass, and they're trying to rush it in, 3 or 4 or 5 months.
Avis,
I think
this
it's wrong.
is embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. And here you mentioned the Affordable Care Act. You had President Obama who had the intelligence and the understanding of policy that was needed to be able to do a press conference that was hours long about the ACA so that the American people could understand what was happening.
Multiple news conferences.
Absolutely. And you have, on the other hand, someone who is currently inhabiting the White House, who absolutely has zero understanding of this policy, who seemingly confuses even Medicare versus Medicaid, and yet he is just has, as was mentioned, this unhealthy obsession with just killing all things Obama. Be damned the damage that will be done to individuals. And it's just really, it's disgusting that there is no concern here for human life and the impact that it will have on people all around this nation.
Tiffany?
Absolutely irresponsible.
So I would echo Avis's sentiments. It is absolutely embarrassing, but I would say also that not only did President Obama have the foresight to have town halls and sell this legislation, but he also had the foresight to reach out to his own party and reach across the aisle and speak with Republicans to help sell this platform. And what we've seen from this president is he would rather throw temper tantrums 140 characters at a time. And it's really cut the legs off of his own party to even begin an intelligent discussion as he threw temper tantrums all across the nation. Well, so I think he's in cutting the legs off of his own party, he has impeded his own agenda to get anything passed before Congress breaks for August recess.
Well, here's the deal. I don't care if it's procedural. It is a part of the whole health care bill. And this procedural vote shouldn't even go forward. And so hopefully you have some senators who have the guts to actually say no to this because it is shameful.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh, my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no.
That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.